Hello everyone. So we will continue with Shimshon and Delilah. So we are on page 3. We are on page 3. Okay, so we spoke about the first 2 times that Delilah is trying to basically to convince Shimshon to tell her about his secret, the secret of his strength, and he lies. But we already see a difference that at the second time he was able to basically release himself, but it was not as easy as it was in the first time. So we are on verse Yud Gimel, page 3, verse Yud Gimel. And we says the following. Vatomer Delilah el Shimshon, so Delilah says to Shimshon, Ad hena etalta bi, ותדבר אליי כזבים. So until now, you basically deceived me, and you made me a fool, really. ותדבר אליי כזבים, and you spoke to me lies. הגידה לי במה תאסר. Please tell me, now it's interesting, she is changing the question. Until now she said, במה כוחך, right? ובמה נאסרך. What's your strength, and how we can tie you. So here she says, just tell me, how can I imprison you? ויאמר אליה, and he said to her, אם תארגי את 7 מחלפות ראשי עם המסכת. If you're going to tie my, my hair to this masechet, is like almost like an iron thing. So that's what will tie me up, and I will not be able to move. Says the Abarbanel, עד הנה הטלת בי ותדבר אליי כזבים. רוצה לומר, איני חוששה על זה, ואיני מפצרת כבר בזה העניין, כי אם לפי שהטלת בי, ותדבר עמי כזבים, ולכן אשתדל על כוחך שתגיד לי האמת. He says, you know what? You lie to me every time. You know what? I don't care anymore. But now it's become my mission to know the secret. Okay? Meaning, until now you deceived me and it's like a game, but now, for me, it's not a game anymore. It's a mission. And then she says, וכל זה מענייני הנשים הזונות לבעליהן מרבות תלונות עמהן, ותאמרו שהם מאהבה מסותרת. Okay, I don't know exactly, I'm going to translate it without insulting 70% of the participants here, or 80%. So I would just say that basically she says, the Abarbanel says, that was the way of those women who basically tried to get something from her husband, saying they really loved them, but it was not about love, it was all about deception. והיו דבריה במה תאסר, רוצה לומר, במה תאסר בידי. Okay, so basically she asked him, how can I imprison you, how can I imprison you? And basically it's בידי, in my hand. She obviously did not mention Plishtim. She didn't mention that the Plishtim are working with her. וזכר ששמשון, אחרי ששתי פעמים הראשונים דיבר את הכזבים, בשניים האחרונים רצה לדבר אמת. You know, it took her 4 times to get it right. So the first 2, he basically lied knowingly. The second 2, he really wanted to say the truth. אם לא שבפעם הראשונה מהשניים האחרונות עירב דברים בטלים עם האמת. However, the third time, he added something true with a lie. He already mentioned the hair, exactly. ולכן, בשני הפעמים הראשונים, זכר שהיה חוזקו ביתרים, ושניהם היו מעטלות. So at the beginning, the first 2 times, he spoke about what, put some ropes around me, some, chains, whatever we said, maybe ropes.
Why should he want to do this?
Oh, he was in love, and she was not. And I guess we also, I don't know if you were here last week, we spoke about the idea of his loneliness. No one was his friend. He had no friends among the Jewish people. They extradite him. He had no friends among the Plishtim, so he was, I guess, looking for some kind of a friend. ובשני הפעמים האחרונים, זכר שהיה כוחו בשיער ראשו. אם לא שבראשונה מהן לא ביערו כראוי, ובאחרונה גילה לה את כל לבבו. So the second set of the last two times. The first one he already began with what? With revealing the secret, and the second time he just told her the entire truth. ולזה התחיל לגלות שהדבר תלוי במחלפות ראשו שהוא השיער, so he started talking about the hair, אבל לא גילה עניין הגילוח, but he didn't tell her about shaving the hair, כי אם שתערוג את שיערו עם כלי ההורגים הנקרא מסכת. So מסכת is basically where they will, what do you call it?
It's a loom for weaving.
For weaving?
A loom.
A loom, okay, all right. So where they basically will make, a fabric and they will make clothing. So put my hair there and I will be done. ודלילה ראתה להוסיף בדבריו, and what did she do? ותתקע בה יתד, ותאמר, so she tied his hair to this loom, and she also put a yated. Now, ותתקע בה יתד, who else used the yated? יעל, נכון? Okay. So that's an interesting thing that you use the same destruction, okay, with Yael and Lila. ותתקע ביתד ותאמר אליו פלישתים עליך שמשון. ויקץ משנתו ויישא את היתד ההרג ואת המסכת. So here, he didn't untie himself. What did he do? He jumped with this entire thing, which was probably very heavy, with him like tied to his hair, and then he started what? Where are they? Now that reminds us a little bit of what? With Sha'ar Ha'ir. You remember the gate of the city that he just took and moved? Very similar here. Says the Malbim, פה לא כתוב והעורב ישב בחדר, כי אחר שכזבה שתי פעמים לא שמו לב לדבריה. Oh, this is interesting. This is how those commentators are so meticulous. In this verse, it says that what? That she said, פלישתים עליך שמשון, he jumped, right? In all the other times, it says, והפלישתים יושבים בחדר, or העורב יושב בחדר, meaning the enemies are sitting in a room looking. This time, the third time, they said to her, when you can get him, call us. Which means they basically said, we don't believe you anymore. So now, it's a matter of what? Of pride and money. Okay? She wants to know. ותאמר אליו, and she says to him, this is a hard one, איך תאמר אהבתיך? How can you tell me that you love me? Which, by the way, it seems that he probably told her that. That really goes back to my theory that he was looking for love, for companionship, for a friend, for something that he will not be that lonely. So she says to him, ותאמר אליו, איך תאמר אהבתיך? How can you tell me that you love me? ולבך אין איתי. Your heart is not with me. Your heart is not with me. You are not transparent with me. זה 3 פעמים הטלת בי. For 3 times you made a fool out of me. ולא הגדת לי במה כוחך גדול. And you didn't share with me what's the secret of your strength. Basically, she tells him, without telling him, this is the last time. I'm giving you one more opportunity. Tell me what's the secret of your strength, and if not,
It's all over.
it's גמרנו. You don't love me, I don't love you anymore, we can't do that anymore, go home. Says the Abarbanel, last source on page 3, איך תאמר אהבתיך ולבך אין איתי? How can you say that you love me and your heart is not with me? רוצה לומר, it comes to teach you or comes to tell you, הנה לא הייתה זאת השאלה ממני כי אם לבחינה ולניסיון הישך אוהב אותי. Meaning everything I did was only for the sake of our love. I just wanted to know if you really love me. How would I know if you really love me? If you share with me the deepest, darkest secret. Exactly. Okay? Tell me the secret of your strength. No one else knows. If you tell me, it means what? That you really love me. ושמשון חשב שכן היה באמת. נבח, נכון? הנבח. He really thinks that whatever she says, it's correct, it's right. ושכל זה לא עשתה דלילה כי אם להבחינו באהבתו אותה. So sad. Like so strong, but so weak.
Can you translate, please?
I did.
That it was a test.
Yeah.
That it was a test
Whom he-
of his love.
Yeah,
I believe that
test for his
test
her
of
love.
She-
ומפני כן הגיד לה את כל ליבו, and because of that, he told her his entire heart, which means the secret. רוצה לומר שבפעם השלישית כבר הגיד לה קצת ליבו. At the third time he already told her a bit, he was talking about the hair. כשהודיע שהיה כוחו בשיער ראשו, that he shared with her that his strength is part of what? Of his hair. אבל עתה השלים הביאור באומרו, and now he complete the explanation by saying שהיה הכוח במציאות ושיאסור בגלחו אותם. That now it's tangible. You see my hair? When I'll shave my hair, that's it. Now, I will just say that there is a little bit of naivete also on Shimshon's part. He really thinks that the power is where? In his hair. It does not mean the power is not your hair. It's from Hashem. Hashem just used your hair in order to bring that force, to bring that power on you. But God could do it through nails, through eyes, through your ears, and through your mouth. It doesn't mean anything about your hair. It's also some kind of the simplistic nature of his father. You remember his father, Manoach?
Yeah.
There is a little bit of simplicity, of like a very simple person, and not necessarily in a very positive connotation. Some kind of simplicity, of naivete, I don't know what you would call it, that yeah, it's all about my hair. Okay. Says the Malbim, ולא הגדת לי במה כוחך גדול. You didn't tell me what's the secret of your strength. אחר שכבר כיזב לה ג' פעמים, after he deceived her 3 times, שבאה לבקש השאלה הראשונה במה כוחו גדול, when she came to ask to know where is the source of his strength, אחר שלא יכלה עוד לבקש במה יעשר, שכבר כיחש לה ג' פעמים. So now, after 3 times, she realized she needs to change the question. She can't talk about what? Tell me what's the secret of your strength. She cannot tell me how you will be in prison. She basically is now using the love card. Okay? You tell me that you love me, and you lie to me. So now tell me the secret. ואם תוסיף בזה לשאול, יבין כי שרי פלישתים עמה בקושרים. If she would continue to ask what? Tell me what's the secret of your strength, and tell me how can I tie you up. And every time she does it, she says what? פלישתים עליך שמשון. Even Shimshon will realize after the 4th time that what?
It's a setup.
That there's a setup between Plishtim and Delilah. So therefore she needs to change the question. That's why she says to him, you tell me you love me. You don't. Where is the proof? 3 times you lied to me. ולכן ביקשה רק במה כוחו גדול. Now I just want to know what's the secret of your strength. כאילו תרצה לדעת טיבו ותכונתו. Because it's a question like, what's your strength? Like, what's the secret of your long life? What's the secret of the fact that you are, I don't know, in great shape? It's not like a suspicious question. It's a question that really, I admire you. So share with me your secrets. Okay. So then, Shimshon is not that quick to tell her. Interesting. In verse ט"ז, it says, ויהי כי הציקה לו בדבריה כל הימים, ותאלצהו ותקצר נפשו למות. Wow. It's even very hard to translate. And it has been that she הציקה לו. What is הציקה? She bothered him. She nudged him. She, as they say in Hebrew, יושבת לו על הווריד. She sits on his vein. Okay? She controls, she drives him crazy. כל הימים. All the days. ותאלצהו, and she basically forced him. ותקצר נפשו למות. He wants to die. Now, leave her. Leave her. The problem is, if he would, he will find himself in the same place, which means lonely, abandoned, no one cares about him. So,
How did he know the secret was his hair?
As opposed to
Who
wine.
told you that? How did he?
I guess he was told by his mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was told by his mother that you shouldn't shave, you shouldn't cut your hair, and therefore the strength is there.
Why
So,
doesn't he get some men friends?
who would like to go out with him? No, I'm not talking about the date. I'm talking about like who? The Jewish people don't want to have anything to do with him. They extradite him. You remember? They don't want to associate with him because if they will, the Plishtim will blame all of them for what he did. So he has no friends from among the Jewish people. The Plishtim, they are afraid of him, but they are not his friends. The only woman who has something to do with him, it's this lady. So he's basically does not know what to do. Now, I want to play Tanakh association with you. Where else it says Vatiktsar nafsho lamut? Yonah. Oh, that was quick. Yonah. And do you remember the story with Yonah? Very similar story. Total loneliness. The Jewish people don't listen to him. The Goyim did listen to him. He had this thing with Hashem, and Hashem is not exactly happy with him. Vatiktsar nafsho lamut. I don't think it says Vatiktsar. No, leave it. It's not. It's only with Yonah. It's not only, but definitely with Yonah. Okay. So the idea is that Shimshon finds himself what?
Alone.
In a place
Isolated.
that he understands he has one choice to make. He's going to share the secret, and then it might be a problem, or he's not going to share the secret and he will need to leave. He will need to leave.
We're between a rock and a
I
hard
see the
place.
fundamental problem here. If God tells me I have absolute strength, can deal with my enemy, that is the source of my power and strength, no matter how I love this vanity love, why should I give that secret to someone who can destroy me?
So that's what I try to explain. Basically, he basically said he feels so much alone. He has nowhere to
God
go.
loves him.
Yeah, now,
Really.
God, he does not know. He has no communication with God. Zero. Think about it. This is an incredible thing in Judges. He has zero communication. The only thing that we have is Vatitzlach alav ruach Hashem. Vatachel ruach Hashem lefa'amo. That there is some kind of a spirit of God that awakens something in him, but there is no, you don't see God talks to Shimshon, says to Shimshon, hey Shimshon, you need to go, hey Shimshon, you need to go there. Even when Shimshon makes his stupid mistakes marrying those Plishtim wives, God does not say no, God does not say yes. The only time Shimshon talks to God is when? When he's almost dead. And he says to God, please remember what I did. Okay? This is the only only conversation that we have between Shimshon and God, which is very strange. Very, very strange. Yes?
What cut it off exactly, this
Well,
relationship?
Between Shimshon and God? Nothing started. There was nothing to cut. The only thing the angel appeared himself to his parents, told them what to do with the guy. God had a mission for Shimshon. We spoke about the complexity of the mission. Since then, God does not talk to Shimshon.
Why not?
But why should he?
He's setting him up for a mission. Why doesn't he want to guide him?
He told him, you need to be the first one lehoshia et Israel, tachel lehoshia et Israel. You will begin to save the Jewish people. God does not need to talk to everyone. How many times God talks to Gideon? Gideon.
Also, he may not have initiated.
Okay? Shmuel and Hashem has a little bit more of a conversation, but Shmuel was a different judge. Okay, many of the Ehud ben Gera, how many times does he speak to God? God does not speak to everyone unless there is some kind of a message or some kind of a prophecy. Yes?
But if he's a judge, do people come to him for judgment?
No. This judge, very good. That's a very good question. Some of the judges are some kind of people that, like Shmuel, okay? So he's almost like a Dayan as well and a prophet. This judge means a warrior, a leader, more of a military warrior, a leader, and not necessarily on the spiritual side. Yes?
So usually it talks about if you're close to Hashem, He wants to have a relationship with you. If you're not close to Hashem, it's like you give your kid a credit card and say, leave me alone. What did Shimshon do in his life where Hashem did not have the closeness that he would have needed to help him succeed?
He might have the closest, he doesn't need to talk to him. The assumption, I don't think is correct, which means God can be very close to us. You can feel very close to God. God does not talk to you. Which means the idea is, obviously we can say God talks to us through, I'm talking about like, hey you, I have a mission for you. Okay? I don't think anyone here had a burning bush experience on the way to the shul, right? So, unless you had one, please share with me. And then, please, I think you are in the wrong place. I think you should go a different place. But the idea is what? Is that really we don't see that, and so the expectation should not be there. The only thing is that we see that even when Shimshon does all those things that no other judge did, God does not rebuke him, which is a very interesting thing. Okay, so let's take a look at Rashi. Rashi vate'alzehu, from the word ilutz. What is ilutz? Ilutzim, meaning I'm being like when I ask you, can we meet? Okay, next week. I said I need to look at my calendar if I have any other ilutzim, which means if I have any other obligations, so I cannot. I'm forced not to what? To meet with you. So Rashi says dechakto. What is litchok? To push. Ve'ein lo dimyon. What does it mean? Ein lo dimyon? He couldn't find anywhere in Tanakh that it says the word vate'alzehu. And really, when you think about it, the word is lehatzer, to narrow or to make tzara, but the word le'alzehu, it's a very strange word. The Abarbanel says, ואמר הכתוב, כי זה הגיד לה כי הציקתו בדבריה ובבכייתה. So the narrative is telling us that he felt that he needs to share with her the secret because she drives him crazy and she cries. או כפי מה שאמרו חז"ל, שהייתה שומטת מתחתיו בשעת תשמיש. So she would use a way, I guess, when they were intimate, that she will basically run away in the middle, okay, and he will stay by himself. ואמרו ותקצר נפשו למות, יחשוב שאמרו הכתוב להגיד ששמשון לא הסכים לגלות לה, זה כי אם לפי שקצרו ימיו למות. This is very interesting. This is a very interesting opinion I will translate. ותקצר נפשו למות from the word קצר, short. He felt that he's about to die. So he says, you know what? ממילא. I don't have too many days to live, so I'll tell her the secret. Now this is an interesting thing. Who else felt that he's about to die and therefore he made a stupid mistake? Esav. Esav. הנה אנוכי הולך למות, ולמה זה לי בכורה? What's the gain? Why I should have this the right of the first birth? I'll give it to you, I'll sell it to you, right? Which means Shimshon is doing somewhat of the same thing. Shimshon looks at his life and says, look, I'm going to die. I already initiated the idea of redeeming the Jewish people, and therefore, I'm going to die, so I'll tell her the secret. Okay, I'll die now, I'll die in a month, בסדר, same thing. ולכן היה מת האלוקים שיגיד לה כל לבבו אליה, שזה יהיה סיבת מיתתו וזהו ותקצר נפשו למות. This is very interesting. Basically says, you know what, maybe it is a sign from God. Maybe this lady is the sign of God. Why? Because if I will die, I will do something big when I'm about to die. And therefore, she is the tool for what? For fulfilling my mission. Meaning, he read the event as what? As this is the opportunity to do what God wanted for me. Because think about it. No one, I guess, and this goes back to my theory, that I'm not sure if Dlila was a plishtit, a female plishti. Why? Just imagine. After what happened with his first and second wife, with his wife that was taken, given, burnt, whatever, who else from the Plishtim will give his daughter to be Shimshon's wife?
Nobody.
No one. They hate him. They hate him. They want to kill him. So therefore, Shimshon, who only used the tool of marriage in order to take revenge with the Plishtim, he can't find any Plishti to what? To marry, which means this is the end of my life. My mission was to do what? To take revenge in the Plishtim. I can't have any other way to do it. So therefore, this lady, somehow, I need to do something with her in order to end my life with what?
A big bang.
With a big bang. Exactly. Okay, I'm going to finish my life with something that everyone will remember. So, Yudzayin, verse 17. ויגד לה את כל ליבו. So he told her everything on his heart. ויאמר לה, and he told her, מורה לא עלה על ראשי, I never got a haircut. כי נזיר אלוקים אני מבטן, because I'm a Nazirite from birth, from בטן אמי. אם גולחתי, if you will shave my hair, ושר ממני כוחי, that's it, I'm done, my strength will vanish, וחליתי, and I'll be sick, והייתי ככל האדם, and I will be like everyone else. Says the Malbi. ויגד לה, what is ויגד? נפתה כיונה פותה. This is obviously a very derogative way to describe Shimshon. He is like a pigeon, a dove, talks too much. She asked him what? What's the secret of your strength? He could end the answer by saying what? My hair. Zehu. And then let her figure out, so I should color his hair. That will make it. I will make a cuckoo, a ponytail, right? And that will make it. Why do you need to tell her the entire Megillah? I am a Nazir for my mother's womb and I never got a haircut. Who asked you all those questions? No one.
Too much information.
Exactly. Too much.
No, he only had one chance. She already told him if he lies to her again.
Yeah, but that was not a lie.
But as far as you're concerned, it wasn't a lie. As far as her was a lie, it didn't do the job.
No, he could say my hair.
My hair, and so she said.
So she can respond, what do you mean by your hair? Answer, shave it. Zehu. Why do you need to tell the entire story?
Maybe he was tired of living.
So that's what the Abarbanel said before. It might be that he said, must speak. Enough, I'm just going to tell her. Also, there is always a joke that it's a rabbi's joke, so you don't need to laugh, really. A rabbi on Yom Kippur goes and plays 9 in 1, I don't know how to play. Hole in one. He goes on Yom Kippur, plays golf, and the first time he does that thing, but he can't tell anyone, right? Because how come a rabbi went to play golf on Yom Kippur? It's the same thing here with Shimshon. No one knew his secret. Even his mother, to some extent, did not know the secret. She knew that he needs to be a Nazir and he will start a redemption, and God will give him tremendous power, but she himself did not know. I guess he figured it out by himself somehow, even though, again, he related everything to the hair, even though it was not necessarily the reason. I guess, there is a moment of truth to some extent, and he just what? He shared everything. But the Abarbanel criticizes, and he says, it's like nifta keyona pota, vayaged la et shtei hashelot, and he told her both questions. Bameh kocho gadol, what's the secret of his strength is what? Shu al yedei hanezirut, it is because of what? Of being a Nazir. Second, bameh yaser, and how can she tie him up, and how can she basically weakening him? Shehu im yegulach, if she will shave his hair. V'hineh, בפעמים הראשונים, in the first times, Amar, he said, והייתי כאחד האדם, that I will be like any other person. ועתה אמר, and now he said, והייתי ככל האדם, which means, כי נשמר מלדבר שקר ואמר, כאחד האדם, היינו כאדם המיוחד בגבורה. ועתה אמר, ככל האדם החלשים, which means, there is a difference between ככל האדם וכאחד האדם. כאחד האדם, it means what? A special person. The Adam. Kechol Adam is what? Like everyone else. So now basically Shimshon says to her what? If you will shave my hair, I will be like Kechol Adam. Like really, like everyone else. Zero power. ותרד דלילה כי הגיד לה את כל ליבו. Delilah saw that he really shared with her the secret. Obviously we will try to understand how could she see that, but in a minute. ותשלח ותקרא לשרני פלישתים לאמור, עלו הפעם. So she sent a messenger to the Plishtim, to the ministers, and basically telling them what? This time is real. Come up and pay up. Exactly. כי הגיד לי את כל ליבו, because he told me his entire heart. ועלו אליה שרני פלישתים, so the ministers of the Plishtim comes up, ויעלו הכסף בידם, and they bring the money. says the Gemara in Sutta, ותרד דלילה, כי הגיד לה את כל ליבו. So Delilah saw that he shared with her entire heart. מנה ידה. How did she know? אמר רבי חנין אמר רב, ניכרים דברי אמת. When people tell you the truth, you know that that's the truth. It means that what? That she is a very smart lady. I mean, after 3 times that he lies to her, she's very persistent, that's for sure, but also she's very smart. Goes back to my theory that it might be that she was maybe the manager on that river of נחל סורק. Okay. אביי אמר, ידע בו באותו צדיק לא מפיק שם שמיים לבטלה. She knew that this righteous person does not say the name of God in vain. כיוון דאמר, because he said, נזיר אלוקים אני, I'm a Nazirite of God, אמרה, אשתא ודאי קושטא אמר. Now he definitely told me the truth. Why? Because he will not use the name of God in vain. Now, you can look at this Gemara and say, okay, so now 2 options of how did she know, right? The first one is fine with me. It's a very general thing. When someone speaks the truth, you know it's the truth. That's fine. The second one is very difficult, because it adds to the complexity of Shimshon's personality. He is married to a shikse. Okay? Delilah, according to most, did not convert. But Shimshon keeps Judaism, whatever Judaism was, בתקופת התנ"ך. He will not say God's name in vain. Can you understand what's going on there? He lives with a non-Jewish woman. I don't know what he eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If it was glad kosher or was not kosher at all. Okay? He, according to most, she never converts. But he will not say the name of God in vain.
He has a limit.
Very interesting limit. Right?
Yes, character.
And she understands it. I don't know what is more strange. The fact that he does not say the name of God in vain, marrying a non-Jewish woman, or the fact that she realized it. By the way, another story. Who else realized that someone is very righteous by dafka, and also by not saying God's name in vain? Yosef, נכון מאוד. והשם עמו. That the Egyptians saw that whatever Yosef touches, it becomes gold. And it says, because Hashem imo would not say the name of Hashem in vain, and also Hashem will be with him. So this is Yosef. So this is very interesting thing, that she realized his strength, not only his, obviously, physical strength, but also what? His spiritual, some kind of strength. So the Radak says, ויש לפרש, כי הכירה בדבריו, כי אמת אמר לה. So we should explain that she realized that he's telling her the truth. כי אמר לה, הסיבה שבעבורו היה לו הכוח. He said, no. It's not because she knows, how to recognize truth, or because he never says God's name in vain. It's because of something else. It's because he gave her the reason. He told her, I have the strength. Why? Because ani nezir elokim. Meaning he gave her the reason. He didn't just say, I'm strong because. He said what? I'm strong because of that reason. Therefore, she realized that by giving the reason, he's telling her the truth.
Excuse me. I would also say here that the fact that he said it was from God made sense to her, because where would somebody have superhuman?
Right. That's also true.
So
נכון.
that probably resonated.
Right. ואמר וסר ממני כוחי, and it says my power will leave me, ולא אמר כן בשלושה פעמים, אלא וחליתי. When you compare his answer this time for the first 3 times, there he says חליתי, which means what? I will get sick. But here he says what? וסר ממני כוחי, my entire power, strength will be removed from me. כלומר, יחלוש כוחי מחוזק היתרים, אך בפעם הזאת אמר ושר ממני כוחי. This time he says basically it will be gone. Says the Abarbanel. And by the way, look at how many the Mefarshim are trying to understand how exactly she realized that was true. So the Abarbanel says the following. אולי ששמעה דלילה גם כן עניין אמו, ומה שקרה לה עם המלאך בהריונה, ומכל זה הכירה שהאמת איתו, ואולי נשבע לה גם כן עליו. He gives 3 different explanations for why she thought that this time he's telling the truth. The first one is that when he said that I was a Nazir Elokim, that I was a Nazirite from my mother's womb, the Abarbanel says, you know what? Maybe Dlila heard about that story. So she did 1 + 1 and she said, that's true. He's saying the truth. Now, what are the probabilities that she heard about that story? I would not say none. But very small. Very, very small. And also, I don't know how old was Shimshon. Here. Let's say he was 18. She remembers something from 18 years ago and she heard that story. That's a little strange. Second opinion is that what? אולי נשבע לה גם כן עליו. He took what? A shvua. He swore to her that what? That what he's saying now, it's true. Now, the problem with the second option of the Abarbanel is, it doesn't say ורעתה, ותרד דלילה. Meaning she just saw. He didn't do anything extraordinary to prove it. But whatever, that's what the Abarbanel says. ולכן שלחה לקרוא לשרני פלישתים, and therefore she asked the פלישתים to come, ותודיעם שכבר ידע האמת, and she would let them know that she knows the truth, ולכן הוליכו עמם הכסף. That's why they brought the money. says the מצודת דוד, ותרא כי ניכרים דברי אמת, על כי ראתה אותו נוהג נזירות. This is interesting. Basically, she saw that he's saying the truth. Why? Because she saw that he doesn't drink wine and he does not shave his hair, cut his hair. Now, 1 second.
A sexual relationship.
She knows the dinim of no.
Very good. So Dlila knows the dinim of Nazirut.
How?
That's very interesting. Right? That's very interesting. She knows that he's saying the truth based on her perception or knowledge.
Maybe she was Jewish.
I don't think so. But she definitely a very educated woman. That's no question about it. And it also might be that Nazirut was not so rare, and maybe she was exposed to it once. Yes?
Is he really telling the truth? Did anyone ever tell him if his hair is cut, he'll lose his strength? That's his.
So that's what I said. That was his perception, and he was correct to some extent after they did it. And we will learn about it. But we basically said that I don't think anyone told him that strength is in his hair. But the hair was a reflection of the Nazirut, which gave him the strength.
But I learned that his mother had told him not to cut his hair.
Yeah, but
otherwise, why would he not cut his hair?
But there are 2 different things here. A, don't cut your hair because you are Nazir. B, is that the source of his strength? He made the connection. So, verse 19. ותישנהו על ברכיה. She caused him to fall asleep on her birkea, on her legs, whatever. Knees. Now, association again with Yael. Very, very similar. The only problem is that with Yael, we like the fact that she killed the guy. Here, we are not that happy with her. ותקרא לאיש, she calls the man, ותגלח את 7 מחלפות ראשו. And she cut the 7, I don't know, what is a machlafot? Rows, sections of his, whatever, hair. ותחל לענותו, and she started afflicting him. ויסר כוחו מעליו. And his strength was removed from him. Now, when you read this pasuk, you see definitely a few questions. A, she calls someone else to shave his hair. She does not do it, which is strange. ותקרא לאיש, and she calls a person to do what?
Shave him.
It seems to be to shave, but then it says ותגלח. She's the one. So, who is that person? Okay, so that's A. B, the number 7 obviously brings a lot of associations, right? Nature, there are 7 days of the week, 7 years of Shemitah, 7 times 7, the Jubilee year. So 7 obviously has a number. And we did not know, by the way, that he had different machlefot rosho. The only times whenever I read this thing is, the what? No, not Tanim Zmirot. I have in front of me Idan Reichler. Okay? You know the singer, Idan Reichler, before he shaved? Don't you know Idan Reichler? Okay, he had those like tzamot, dread. I don't know if he had 7, if he had 4, if he had dread like 6, whatever it's called. He shaved his hair now. But the idea is that whenever I read, so I never knew that Shimshon had it. Nowhere until now it says that he had 7. And then she starts.
He always used the word 7 with the first couple of times when he told her how many strings.
Right, nachon, but nothing to do with his hair. But that's true. This is true. This is so, like, I'm so in love with you, I'm going to torture you, right? ויסר כוחו מעליו, and he has no power. Says the Abarbanel, והנה זכר כאשר ראתה דלילה ששמשון היה ישן על ברכיה, so when Delilah saw that Shimshon fell asleep on her knees, גילחה 7 מחלפות ראשו.
She did it.
She did it. She shaved his hair. ובפעם הזאת, and at this time, לא עשתה ניסיון בידיה, she didn't do it by herself, אבל ציוותה לאיש שיגלחהו. So she called the man to do it. וזהו ותקרא לאיש ותגלח, כי קראה לאיש המגלח שיגלחהו. So he understood that what? That who shaved Shimshon's hair? This man. This galach. Okay? ואם אמר הכתוב ותגלח, פירושו שגילחה עוד דלילה על ידי האיש שזכר. Or she did it through this guy. You ask yourself, מה נשתנה? Not only מה נשתנה, מה נפקא מינה? Yeah, well, what's the ramification? Who cares who shaved him? Okay, wait. ואומנם אמר, now with one thing, there is no question about the torturing. ותחל לענותו. Who did it? She did it. ויסר כוחו מעליו. And he has no strength. וכתבו המפרשים, שהרגיש מיד בעצמו עינוי וחולשה. He immediately felt what? Weak. ואפשר שדלילה התחילה לענותו בייסורים וכישורים. So דלילה started torturing him with afflictions and tying him up. וששר כוחו מעליו ולא הרגיש בהם כראוי. And maybe he felt something, but he didn't feel that his entire strength left him. ולכן כאשר אמרה לו פלישתים עליך שמשון, so when she said פלישתים are coming, חשב להינער ולעשות גבורות. He thought that what? Oh, it's like the last time. I'll jump and I'll finish them up. והנה שרה ממנו ההשגחה האלוקית. God's divine presence left him. So, he is nothing. Says Radak, ותחל לענותו, and she began to afflict him, אף על פי שגילחה אותו, והוא ישן, even though she was the one to shave him and he was still asleep, הרגיש בעצמו, he felt, עינוי וחילוש בגלחה אותו. So you can, if you want to be very dramatic, every time she took one, he felt what? Weaker. Okay? 14% of his strength left him, and then another 14%.
7 times. 40% each time times 7 is 280.
That's 98%.
No, 98. 7 times 14 is 98. 14 I said. What did I say? I said, yeah, not 40.
You said 14.
14, 1-4. So, verse 20, ותאמר פלישתים עליך שמשון, ויקץ משנתו, so he woke up, ויאמר, and he said, אצא כפעם בפעם וינער, so I'll do what I did last time, so I'm just going to wake up and move on, והוא לא ידע, and he didn't know, כי שר השם מעליו. He didn't know that what? That Hashem is not with him. Now,
How can it be though? it doesn't.
Oh, רגע.
It doesn't say she gave him something.
Someone can just
to make
turn this thing down.
Can you turn off your phone, please?
That's not me today.
Someone has
Just-
a phone on.
Just 1 second. Yes, I can't hear you.
We have kapal leaves when it isn't like they use one. I'm sure one feels it. How can he know? How can he not know that Hashem left you? You feel it, no? You like what's Hashem?
Maybe he was not in that level. I don't know.
It
Yes?
doesn't say anywhere she gave him something to drink to put him to sleep, like it says by Yael.
Mhm.
I mean,
Does not.
the sleep through all this is without.
Right, she should have told the drip.
Maybe she gave him a pill. I don't know.
Must have been very heavy sleep.
Yeah, all right.
When Yael was going to kill what's his
Something
name, she
else.
first got him drunk.
Right.
So that he fell into a deep sleep.
He can't. He can't drink wine.
He didn't. What?
Maybe he cannot drink wine.
It doesn't say that she gave him.
No, I'm saying she didn't give him anything, and she definitely could not give him wine because he's a Nazir.
Right.
He will not drink it.
Fell into such a deep sleep.
Yeah, she gave him a pill. I don't know, a sleeping pill. Yes, Susie.
I find the language interesting.
Well, 1 second. We need. I can't hear. Yes.
She gave him
Like a regular person
No, but listen, you went to sleep.
can't do extraordinary things that require great strength.
I'll try it
But-
next time.
If you're in generally good health, you don't feel weak, right? So if you take the extraordinary strength away from him, why does he right away feel weak?
Okay.
That's what I don't understand.
Aha. Okay. It might be relative, but this entire pasuk is very strange. He is not aware, which is also interesting. He wakes up. He doesn't feel that his head is a little bit light. So, I can imagine. I don't know exactly how old is he, but I guess he has hair until here. Okay, and it's machlefot rosho. Okay, so it's like those big tzamot. So you don't feel like a little bit lightheaded, right? So that's question number one. Question number two, we just said that the strength did not come through the hair. It comes from Hashem. So how did what?
That was my question. He said at the beginning that he thought it came from his hair, but it's really from Hashem. So why did it make her weak when she cut it off?
Very good. If the hair is a nothing, it's just like a reflection of the Nezirut, but it's not the source of his strength, so what's going on here? And then, והוא לא ידע כי השם שר מעליו, there is another question. Meaning until now he always felt the presence of God. That's the only way. Now I know that it departed from me. If I never sensed it, how do I know that it's not there? It means what? That he felt it. Now, if he felt the presence of God with him, you're talking about a very spiritual person. Very spiritual person, married to a non-Jew, never says God's name in vain, and, eat honey from a lion. זה קצת, as we say in Hebrew, מוזר. מוזר ומסובך, strange and complicated. So, have all these questions in mind, we will try to deal with that. Says Radak, והוא לא ידע, ולא יגיד לכל ליבו. So what do you mean he didn't know? He told her everything. ודעתו היה כאשר יגלח אסור כוחו ממנו, כמו שאמר, ושר כוחי ממני. ואם כן היה חמר והוא לא ידע. So Radak is asking our question. He says, I don't understand it. He told her everything, the entire secret. And he himself told her that what? That if you will remove my hair, if you will cut my hair, I will have zero strength. You wake up. So, you told her everything. And she probably what? Shaved your hair. So what do you play games? Obviously, you lost your power. So what are you trying to what? To pretend that, oh, לא יודע מה קרה לי. I don't know what happened to me. Says Radak. I don't know even what to do with it. אלא ששכח בשנתו מה שאמר לה.
Short memory.
He went to a deep sleep, he woke up and said, I'm not sure what I told her. Probably I told her what I told her the last 3 times, which means I lied to her. וחשב שהיה זאת הפעם כפעמים האחרות. So he thought it was the same thing like last times. ולא נזכר ששר כוחו מעליו. And he didn't really remember yet that what? That his strength departed from him, שעדיין לא נאור משנתו משלם. Meaning, he was not yet fully awake.
Crazy story. Why do we have to know this?
So he wakes up and he's like, where am I? Plishtim alecha Shimshon. I'll do the same thing I did last time, and he did not know that Hashem... Come on.
That makes sense.
והוא לא ידע ששר כוחו ממנו, ששר ממנו כוחו, and he didn't know that his strength left him, אבל לא ידע כי השם שר מעליו, כי חשב, because he thought, שאף על פי ששר ממנו כוחו, even though his strength was basically left him, שיעזרהו האל בפעם הזאת שלא ייפול ביד פלישתים. He thought, yeah, maybe my strength left me, but God did not. Meaning God will use this opportunity to somehow with my fingers, I don't know, my fingers, Pinocchio, I don't know, my nose will grow, okay, and I will kill all of them with my nose. בסדר. You brought Superman last week. Okay, so I'll bring Pinocchio. Okay? So Shimshon, in a way, and this is a very interesting thing, because there is so much psychology here. Meaning Shimshon knows that what? Before that, the perception is that my hair gives me the strength. They cut my hair, I lost my strength. However, because God chose me to be the judge, to be the leader, it means what? He will not leave me like that. He helped me when they extradite me. You remember with not Entimna, Sela Itam, when we spoke about like 2 weeks ago, and God never left me. And also think what God would let me die with them like that, and that's the end of my career. Obviously, He's going to help me, and He did not know that what? That from Hashem's perspective, it was also what? The last time. Gaman, I'm not helping you anymore. Vayochzu Plishtim. It's always such a sad verse. The Plishtim take a hold on him. Vayenakru et einav. By the way, why do you think they did it? Why did they took his eyes out? Or one eye? To what? Confuse him. What else?
Can't see it.
Can't see who took them.
Can't see. I will give you a hint. Connected to the parsha that we're going to read on Shabbat.
Either Chashuv Kamez.
It's also true, but it's true, but not from the parsha. But I think you said Eved. No, not Eved Ivri. Eved. When you hurt a Eved, when you beat up an Eved and you broke his teeth or you took out his eye, לחופשי ישלחנו תחת עינו. Especially in the time of the Romans, but that was probably something from ancient times. Most of the slaves, they will take at least one eye. Why? So they can guide them. And they can do with them whatever they want. When you lose your eyesight, when you don't have the ability to see, you are being guided, you are being led by others. You have almost zero opinion. This is also why, but blind people are also it's hard for them to navigate. So they וינקרו את עיניו, ויורידו אותו עזתה. Whoa, stop there. We know that place. Not from 2024. That was the first time he saw
Her.
Her.
Delilah.
Delilah. Delilah is Nachal Sorek. The first Plishtit was in Gaza. So where he started his decline, that's where he's going to end his life. ויאסרו בנחושתיים. They tied them up with what? With chains. ויהי טוחן בבית האסורים. And he was a tochen bebeit asurim. Tochen basically means what? Grind, to grind. Like, so I don't know if he was in the wheat factory or whatever he did, but he worked very hard. The Gemara says in Sotah, and we will end with that one. Shimshon alach achar einav. Shimshon went after his eyes. לפיכך נקראו פלישתים את עיניו, שנאמר ויחזו פלישתים וינקרו את עיניו. Meaning the Gemara is obviously trying to find midah keneged midah, which means measure against measure. And basically, Shimshon went after his eyes. How do we know that? He said at the beginning, he says to his parents, Ki tova hi be'einai. She looks good in my eyes, your eyes. We're going to what? To take them out. So, you know what? Let's see one more and then Mincha. Bamidbar Rabbah, page 6. You know what? Let's leave it for next week. Okay, that's for today.